Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to FreeCell Quest. Let's continue. So, large cities and capitals will sometimes have a card for sale. We've already figured that out. We're running into an interesting problem where there's... Oh, well, now we've been attacked. I guess... There's a certain level here that you have to be careful about where you go. You don't want to just wander around back and forth. You want to be, I guess, efficient with your movements. Yeah. Wow, just I don't even know what to do with this series. Like, it has put me in such a weird position that I've really never had to deal with before in any real way. My Hearthstone series eventually, after several years of streaming Hearthstone every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, eventually got to the point where I was covering news instead because there was just a unrealistic amount of, well, there was just nothing more to say. Now I'm losing my train of thought again, and it's like I'm already at that point with this game. It's FreeCell, so it's hard to say that there's anything new to say. It's hard to even pretend like there's anything new to say. There, this is actually a pretty easy one. And I've been running into a lot of hard ones, so this might just save the day. But I still had to use magic to solve that, just to not take damage. I don't have a full balance here as far as where I want to go yet. It does seem like these ones on the left are a little bit easier. So we have this mana potion if we are desperately low out of mana, but that cost a lot of money. And coming to think of it, I probably shouldn't have purchased it, considering how money is a little bit of a limited resource here. Yeah, I don't know a different way to put it like that. It's just when you die, you lose a lot of money. There's not really a way to grind out and get a bunch more without going through a lot of frustration. So it's just, what we want to do is clear out this area and defeat this entire section. Mostly we're just trying to get more cards so we unlock another FreeCell. So this is a challenge. Because you only have 6 slots here, 6 stacks, and 2 FreeCells, and so casting this spell is probably your best move. And then maybe we can, if I could get this one free, but I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Like, all the red cards are in the wrong place. So, just using this spell again is this best move. Okay. So, that's a 2. And we can take that, put that there, take that. I put that there. with the exception of one black card. It was all hearts. Yeah, we're just trying to get more of these cards and just do our thing, I suppose. Eventually increase the chance of success without using the magic and make it a lot safer. The penalty for losing is higher in this than you would have in a normal FreeCell game, which feels odd. Everything about this game feels odd. It's just coming from, I think, a completely different direction. I suspect this wasn't even supposed to be a FreeCell game when it was originally developed. Alright, so that was a minor fort. Forts sometimes sell cards, but must be a major fort that's required. Now here's one of the harder ones. So this probably isn't a terrible one. It would be nice if this was more balanced, for sure. If we guaranteed a more linear experience, I think you'd be better, where you run into some easy FreeCell games, and then you run into one hard FreeCell game, and then you're back to easy FreeCell games, and it just kind of bounced back and forth, giving you falling action and rising action. Right now it feels more sporadic. It feels like you might get a hard game, you might get an easy game. There's really not a great indicator. I think there actually is an indicator, but it's not informative enough. Alright. We need the ace, so we'll use the spell to see if that does that. Nope. We could use this other spell. So we'll put that on top. And that solves it. His music strangely reminds me of some of the Blackadder songs, but I guess more specifically the closing song of the final season of Blackadder, which is a British comedy show. If that's supposed to be some kind of audio reference, though that would be a very odd one that I don't think most people would get. I don't see a real reason why FreeCell players in particular would get that reference. There was, interestingly enough, a special form of solitaire that came out for the iPad, and I believe it was made by like a politician. Not particularly a politician I think that even a lot of people liked, but someone who was definitely famous. He had learned some kind of special variant of solitaire or some card game that Winston Churchill played, and he then partnered with a company, at least this is the story it was sold on, to have them have that company make a iPad version of the game. I'm not even sure it came to Android. It was called, I think, Churchill's Solitaire, and it was a little interesting. That was probably the biggest bit of news, and it was actually talked about on the 24-hour news channels for a day, or perhaps less than even a day. But that's more excitement, I imagine, any solitaire game has had in decades. Solitaire has a deserved history of being regarded as boring, and I wish there was a better way to put it, but there really isn't. Like, either you love this kind of game or you don't. It doesn't have the appeal of something like blackjack, where there would be gambling, or poker, which poker is incredibly slow and boring too, but it has a lot of social challenges around it where you have to read the other players. Solitaire, you're not playing against anybody, so poker becomes a lot more complicated, where any variant of poker, if you were just playing it against robots that you could perfectly predict, would be incredibly boring and pointless, particularly if there's no money involved. The reason why solitaire exists, and so many variants of solitaire exist, is simply like people had a lot of free time on their hands, even in the old days. Even if you were working on a farm, there were winters and points when you couldn't have access to books, or didn't have access to a printing press, and or printing presses didn't exist, and so solitaire, even handmade cards of solitaire, were the solution. I guess they were the solution before dominoes became a thing too, because there's a lot of variants of dominoes too, but I guess also playing dominoes, a solitaire version of dominoes, I haven't ever heard of a case of that. And I suppose it is important to point out that while playing cards are the normal way you play solitaire, there's other ways you could play it, certainly. Mahjong solitaire is incredibly popular, at least as far as a low effort game to make on Steam, where the true Mahjong game, where you play against 4 players, is way less popular on Steam and way more interesting a game. But yeah, Mahjong solitaire is effectively playing with solitaire, except for you're playing with little marble-esque pieces of stone that makes it a lot easier to not lose those pieces or damage those pieces. So yeah, that's helpful. I probably needed to rest at the end. I pushed us too far. So swap a random card. We'll swap that ace. Like I don't think I had enough to flee anyways. Just have to see how hard this hits and how often this hits. Still really haven't gotten any kind of understanding on how that all is supposed to work. Because everything in this game is hidden behind a magic move, also just getting a simple hint, because I'm pretty sure some of the versions of my some of the versions of Microsoft Solitaire did have a hint system built into it. In this case, you don't really get that opportunity, so instead you're Just gonna lose. Is it worth restoring 100 mana? Or should I just retreat? I think it's just smarter to retreat. And then go all the way back here and potentially get caught in some kind of battle. And let's see. Shop. This would be 10 defense. We can finally buy this. And we could probably sell 2 of these. I don't think we probably will get to ever a point where it makes sense. So we go from 3 defense to 10 defense. And this is the one thing we're trying to do, is get more cards. And then rest for 55 gold. And then go to the shop and then sell this. Yeah, I don't know what to really say. Is we've hit some difficulty points, and then we've also hit some points where it seems like we could still do kind of fine. Just gonna play and then undo. I guess that'd be the easiest thing to do, wouldn't it? No, because in the undo it just started attacking from the same card again. Oh, so you can't really cheat the system that way. Let's see. So yeah, if I'm gonna have any chance of succeeding here, I'm going to have to really play this. And just take the hits, use the magic, and do as best as I can. Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm losing focus again, and I took a break between this recording and the last recording. Yeah, and I really need to churn out these episodes, because honestly this is not even a game I want to stick to as much as I am. I thought we would be probably at this point closer to 50% done, or this would have been one of the games that I would have covered more as a spotlight, in the sense that I'll just say, okay, here's the game, it goes on forever, we understand it, we put in a reasonable 5 hours for a game that, depending on your level of enjoyment, you could get way more than 5 hours of entertainment out of. Instead, because it has this RPG element, and because each level seems like it is kind of hand-coded. I really wouldn't say it is hand-coded, but it feels kind of hand-coded. I want to see if there actually is something more to this. Let's see. Right, that. Is that enough? Is that enough? No. Undo that. Do that instead. Another hit for... See, we just got our defense up by 3 extra points, and it still doesn't matter. Does not matter one bit. When these things want to hit hard, they just hit hard. And there's nothing you can do about it to change that from happening. Come on. I have maybe 2 more hits I can take before it's just going to be game over. And that should cover everything. And I think at that point we leveled up. So there's a shop here. At this shop is a weapon and a weapon. Is there something we could do to increase our mana? It looks like I can't read it, but it looks like that says 40,000 gold. That's insane. An insane amount. Where are we though? This is a major fort. Let's go over this way. And we refilled everything because we leveled up. But I can't really rely on that happening very often. Because, you know, it just won't. And I think we're going to start leveling up less and less as it takes more and more experience. Either that or the game is so balanced that even though the numbers go up, the actual amount of games you have to play to get the XP doesn't change at all. I doubt it will get easier. I don't even know how you would balance this though, because do you really want somebody leveling up every time they beat a FreeCell game? Or do you want them leveling up every 10 FreeCell games or 100 FreeCell games? FreeCell's a lot slower than running around hacking and slashing a skeleton in Skyrim, for example. And I think you probably only going to level up maybe once, maybe twice in a cave in Skyrim after killing, I would guess, 30 to 50 skeletons. This being a RPG, this having quest in the name, I guess they are opening themselves up to those kinds of comparisons. And of course, a FreeCell game is not going to compare well to Skyrim. Alright. So where's the 2 of diamonds? It's right there, so can I get this 8 off the field? Let's... Yeah, we may be rather close to being done. Yep. So we liberated a monastery, we get some gold. Some train. I don't have enough to buy this or this. This would probably be the next thing we'd want to buy though, is something like this. You know, there's really no good way to do this, but it's questionable maybe if I went back to this fort, if I found a major fort somewhere way back here, there might be a store that I missed. That could be exactly what happened. Why did I cast a spell right at the beginning there? That was dumb. Yeah, I'm losing focus. The music in this game is a little repetitive. Like, we're not really to the point where I could start getting irritated by it or criticizing it a lot, but I totally can feel that give it a couple more hours, we'll be rather tired of hearing the same 3 to 5 songs. Yeah. Do I have a chance here, or did I just... Is this one just too hard? I think this one's too hard. I'm gonna leave. And I'm gonna go over here instead. These ones on the left seem way more difficult than the ones on the right were. So I'm probably going the wrong way. That would be my guess. That can get me to that point. I'm basically at this point right clicking after every play just to see if it does anything. Since there's no penalty for clicking the wrong thing, I can just, you know, right click as much as I want. There's no spamming here. I played some hidden object games where you could often cheat that way, in a similar way, and just left click all over the map. But then I've seen some hidden object games also work against you if you do that and make it so you can't just spam. You have to actually know what you're doing. Alright. That helped only a tiny amount. What else can we do? Cancel all incoming attacks. So I have a lot of health, but if I can't solve this, I'll have to retreat. It really is just getting slower. The game has found a way to become slower because now we've got major challenges, and those major challenges open up to the possibility of just failing and having to start all over. No longer am I running into a lot of levels where I'm just winning on the first hit, or the first 30 seconds, first 90 seconds. Now this is a minor fort, so will it have also nowhere close to leveling up? So minor fort has nothing for sale. We still are pretty short on cards. Here we have a level 14, we're at level 16. 4 suits, 9 stacks, normal sort, best time. Odds of me getting that done are low. I think even getting this done may be pretty low. Yeah, let's just go ahead and quit before we even take damage. So I want to go. I guess. Wait. I can't cancel. Seriously? I needed to rest. I want to go this direction in hopes, or in some hope at least, that this would have been easier. Doesn't now look like that's the case. This game really needs a secondary gameplay mechanic. I would say most games need secondary gameplay mechanics. If you're first-person shooting, you're usually also platforming and running and gunning, and often in shooters you're playing with loot and dealing with that also. So even if it doesn't seem like there's a secondary mechanic, there usually is. But just FreeCell on top of FreeCell on top of FreeCell really limits this down to people who are obsessed with playing with FreeCell. And I don't think that's a market you can target alone. That any game, or almost any game, I would say, should try to attract normal gamers, normal people. Not to say that I assume there's a difference between normal people and normal gamers. Yeah, it's just not. It's too much of a niche market to try and target only people that play FreeCell games. It would probably be helpful if this game only attacked me when I clicked the wrong thing. So if I clicked on something and then clicked off of it, that should build up a mistake bar. And then if you're a perfect player, you never get attacked. If you're a terrible player, you get attacked more often. Then it would feel like it's more my fault instead of just a timing mechanic, which still is my fault, sure, but they are controlling enough factors in the timing mechanic to make me feel like I'm doing my best and still getting penalized, because these attacks do seem to just happen even when I am moving as fast as I feel like I can. Put that there, and hopefully that'll clear out a lot of it. That should be everything. That won't give me enough XP to get to 21 XP, so we've got gold that we can't really do anything with. We're got cities. I'm trying to get down to this region to see if we can take out this whole section, but odds are low. No way to regain mana without resting. So I could take maybe 2 hits and then I've got to flee and just hope that I can flee all the way back to a capital to rest. Put that there, I guess. Put that there, then that, and then that. And do that. Do that. Let's do that. Do that. Okay. Can we put that there and then move? No. Darn it. Well, can get rid of that and that. Yeah, I can definitely recognize that the music is repeating fairly frequently. For as quickly as you get in and out of these games, if you were going to have a soundtrack, it would have had to been a big soundtrack, or it would have had to work with it a little better than what they're doing. Generally speaking, what they need to do is play a song. The songs were going to be 2.5 minutes, maybe long. Play a song, give me 2.5 minutes of just pure silence, that's fine, and then come back and fade the song back in, or fade in a different song, even better. Going constantly from one song to the next song back to the same song, because it really does feel like I can identify just 2 songs that I'm hearing. Inherently, there's nothing wrong with this game, but I think I might awkwardly end up having to just rage quit just because of time commitments on this now. I want to see it all the way through, but it's gonna take a lot of time, a lot more time than I thought, a lot more time than I had scheduled. At least scheduled in my head. I thought this would be a short 3, 4, 5 hour game. This is lining up to be a lot longer. 10, 20, maybe even 25 hours. I wouldn't go as far as to say 30. might be doomed. Let's see. That doesn't really move on anything. That really wouldn't do anything if I moved it. This really wouldn't move and do anything. This really wouldn't. This can't move on anything. This can't move. These can't move. I can put that there. Yeah, without that cheat, without a cheat available to you, this is just flee. That's all you can do, is just flee. Right. Flee, and then find the closest capital, which is way over here. Look in the shop. Shop's not selling. Not selling anything useful. Look at our inventory. And rest. See, if I was going to now I have to go all the way back, and there's a decent chance that you'll get attacked on the way. And so then you'll end up doing what seem like pretty simple puzzles, but it does force you into this situation where if you have a checkpoint that is really, really far away, and I think as we start going up more north, that's how it's going to boil down, is we will just have checkpoints that are really, really far away from the next closest capital, and because of that, it's gonna become less likely that you can succeed without getting attacked and then potentially getting hit and or losing mana. Because this fight in particular, I can't really do anything. I can't use the mana. I can't take damage. Otherwise, that's lowering my chance of success in the actual battles that I'm trying to do. Let's see. And that still takes about a minute and a half. And gave me 69 gold, which is a ridiculous small amount of gold. And we're back to this. Gotta get as many cards moved around as much as possible before I use a cheat, if I have to use a cheat. This can go up here, and then that can be placed there. I'll start a cheat going. Yeah, I think we're gonna get more exhausted sighs as I continue to play. Just use the spell again because I don't see anything I can do. The attacking cards, I guess, do act in a small way as a bit of extra pressure to point you and give you a hint as far as the right direction. Honestly, I'm not sure that this isn't just the same song playing over and over again, because I'm only hearing one that I'm recognizing. So this might just be one song over and over again. Now, of course, if you're playing this game and you're not streaming it to YouTube or recording it for YouTube, then you can ignore the music and listen to your own. That's certainly, for a game like this, exactly what I would be doing in normal playthroughs. Is trying to ignore everything. I just desperately need another FreeCell. Need another spot. If I had another spot, this would be so much easier. Pulls a card to the top stack. Just need something on the field. Okay, that might have solved our problem somewhat. Maybe. That doesn't do anything. Need a 6. A red 6. It does not want to give me that. Just pull this higher up. Just does not want to give me the satisfaction at all. If I could get something off the field, is there some way we could do this? If I put this back down here, this would be crazy. And could use the mana crystal, and we may have to. Is there anything else that I can do? No. Alright, so highlight cards, use the mana crystal, place this, and use this to pull that nearer. And that should have opened up a lot of opportunities now. Yeah, that could be pretty much everything. So I had to use the mana crystal there, which means more money was spent. There's a shop. So is a defense 10, here would be a defense 5 for 200 gold. Here would be a defense 2, here would be a defense 8. Here's a card. Here's a maximum increase of health, which wouldn't be terrible to have. Right. So the helmet, I think this would be the best improvement if I could buy that. And I need to buy another one of these. And Then we go into the inventory. So defense 2 becomes defense 8. This gets dragged down here. This brings my defense up to 22. We have 82 wins. We're 14% complete. We are still just struggling. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards are needed until we can get the next FreeCell. There's still at least 12 by my count spells that need to be learned, and the second kingdom we were working on, we got 44 out of 52. That's actually, how is that the case? What did we miss that we have 6 of those still missing? One here, and one here, and one here, and I guess these all also are connected. So I need to go back to the main area of the secondary kingdom and just try and conquer all of that after I try and conquer all of this. But if I can get this capital, then I can work my way up to this capital and work my way up further, further and further. This map is huge. I mean, sure, I can zoom out, but then I can't see the details of anything. There's a bunch of forest and things just being... Why was this map created for a FreeCell game? Obviously it wasn't. That makes no sense. What's this? The Death Nor Mountain. This might be the final boss fights. Or maybe we'll get some way to fly. And even if we did get some way to fly, that really wouldn't change too much. This map is just so big. And we've barely scraped the beginning of it. Well, that's gonna be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.